With the new Planet of the Apes movie just released, making it the 10th film in the series, I've decided to make this video to help you get started with the franchise. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you haven't heard of or started watching Planet of the Apes yet, now's the perfect time. There are 9 previous movies plus the latest one, giving you a total of 10 films to enjoy. Lucky you, you've got a lot of great movies to watch. Never mind. First, we're going to watch the movies in chronological order, which is a bit messy and crazy, but we'll get through it together. Just so you know, the 3 prequel movies from the last decade aren't connected to the original series. They have a completely new storyline and likely a different future than the one Charlton Heston's astronaut finds in the 1968 film. But it's totally fine to start with these prequels if you want to. So, let's start with Rise of the Planet of the Apes from 2011. It's a reboot of the Planet of the Apes series. Critics loved it, praising the direction, visual effects, and Andy Serkis performance, which helped change how people view performance capture acting. Next, you can watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes from 2014. This sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes is set 10 years later. It received many awards and nominations, including an Academy Award nomination for Best Visual Effects. Next up is War for the Planet of the Apes from 2017. This movie is set 2 years after Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. It was originally supposed to lead into the story of the original Planet of the Apes in its own way, but because it was so successful, Hollywood decided to make a sequel. Now it's time for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes from 2024. This movie is a standalone sequel. Although it follows the events of the previous film, it actually takes place 300 years after War for the Planet of the Apes. Critics have generally given it positive reviews. Now, watch Planet of the Apes from 1968. This movie's success started the whole franchise, including 4 sequels, a TV series, an animated series, and comic books. After the original series, there was Tim Burton's remake in 2001 and the reboot series that started with Rise of the Planet of the Apes in 2011. Next is Beneath the Planet of the Apes from 1970. This is the sequel to the 1968 movie and is the second film in the original series. Now it's time for the next sequel, Escape from the Planet of the Apes from 1971. Critics mostly love this film, and it's generally considered the best sequel in the original series. Next, let's move on to Conquest of the Planet of the Apes from 1972. This movie follows directly after the previous one. Roddy McDowall returns to the franchise, but this time he plays Caesar, the same character the reboot prequels focus on. After that, watch the sequel Battle for the Planet of the Apes from 1973. This movie got mixed to negative reviews from critics and audiences, but it wraps up the sci-fi story that started 5 years earlier. And finally, we have the 2001 reboot. You can watch it after the 1968 movie to compare the differences, or save it for the end as a bonus watch. Since it's a complete reboot, it doesn't fit into the timeline of the other movies, so you can decide where you think it fits best. That's everything for the chronological order. Now, let's move on to the release date order. Some of you might find it easier to follow the movies this way instead of trying to stick to the timeline. I'll show you the list, so get ready to take notes if you're interested. Will there be Planet of the Apes after the 2024 release? A new decade means a new Planet of the Apes trilogy. The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes ending teases much more story to come, and director Wes Ball has already confirmed there are plans for 2 more sequels. So, it's time to wrap up this video. I hope everything was explained clearly. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more great content, and see you guys next time.